Peace to all Israel, home and abroad, and all praise to the Father I am. I've made this video a bunch of times, but I make this video constantly because I want to get this out there that the Genesis story is not what we think it is. It's an amazing story. It's a beautiful story. And yes, Christ is part of that. But Christ is not who you think he is. We always take the time to believe what is set before us. And we have to realize whatever was given to us is not what the story is. Right? I'll give you an example. To us, in America, Qaeda is the enemy. They're terrorists. They do all types of bad things to people. And Americans don't like them, right? To Qaeda, America is the enemy. To them, we do all types of bad things. Well, not me, but America do all types of bad things. And they killed their children, their wives, their husbands, their parents, whoever the case may be. So from both standpoints, each one is evil. Now, when if somebody comes and does something negative in your eyes to them, you become the adversary. You become a serpent. You become a sly, slippery serpent. Right? Even though in your mind you're not thinking you're the serpent or anything evil. I think that's what's going on in the Genesis story. Let's take for example, it lightheartedly, playfully says that God created Adam and then let him name all the animals of the field. Right? Lightheartedly says that. Makes you think that the story is we was pleasant or happy within that place, right? But this is how you know that we wasn't pleasant or happy in that place. The serpent comes and says to Eve, surely if you eat of this tree of knowledge of good and evil, your eyes shall be open and you will be like God. Now, why would the devil want to do that to God? Like, why would he want us to open our eyes? If we were perfect and he wants to destroy God's creation, right? Why would he open our eyes so that we can be like God? Wouldn't God already want us to be like them if we were perfect? This is what we have to start thinking about. We have to start thinking, why didn't God already have us know between the knowledge of good and evil? Why did it take the devil to come and reveal that to us? Let's apply that to this day. Right? Let's apply that to this day. Before you awoke to being an Israelite, before you obtained the knowledge of you being an Israelite, did you know the difference between good and evil? You might say, oh, well, we all know not to kill anyone. We all know not to steal. Okay. But did you know that you shouldn't be cutting your beard or a man shouldn't wear women's clothes? Yeah, possibly. Did you know you're not supposed to eat pork or lobster? Possibly. But did you know that God didn't want that? Interesting when you really start to dig into what the laws are. Making cuttings in your flesh, tattoos, piercings all over your body, changing from man to female. Did you know any of those things? did you know that these other things were even against the law? But did you even know that sin was the commandments? Did you know that? This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have gotten our eyes open in the last days, as did Adam and Eve. And from the standpoint of the devil, of course he's going to call Christ the serpent. Of course the serpent people are not going to look at themselves as the wicked. They're going to look at themselves as the right, the in line, the ones that's following God, the one that created us. Going a little too far, but the one that created us. That's how they're going to look at it. We have to stop with this. These people are evil because they're doing this to us. They're being controlled and they're being manipulated by particular beings. When we say other nations, we are discounting the God or the devil that Christ talked to. We're discounting the demons that called themselves Legion, or that talked to Christ where he put them in other bodies. We're discounting wisdom. We're discounting these other beings that are in and around our lives constantly, daily. You go to these churches and you see pictures of these different gods all over the place. Just like in Egypt, they have the white god, they have Mary, they have all the disciples and all that different types of stuff up in these churches, on the wall in the Catholic churches, or whatever church you may go to. They have these pictures. Those are not the pictures of the disciples. Those are the pictures of those fallen, so-called fallen angels. The reason I call them so-called is because I think they're the rulers of darkness. They've been ruling since day one, since the beginning. But because we were told by AKA white people from before we learned truth that the God in the the Old Testament is the same exact God that brought forth Christ. And I believe that's incorrect. It might not seem incorrect. You might think I'm crazy. But everything and anything that was told to us by Esau must be evaluated, re-evaluated, and then re-evaluated again. Because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, why would God the Father give the devil any time to rule? Where in Genesis does it say that he needed time to rule? When he went against Christ. Against the devil. Sorry. When God went against the devil, where in the scriptures does it say that the devil needs time to rule? It says the nations get time, but why does the nations get time? Because we sinned? Because of our disobedience? Or is it something greater and bigger? Remember, the Lord's ways are higher than your ways. What's going on in the heavens must go on the earth. Must. It's not up for debate. Did it not say when Christ leaves that the devil shall come and be the ruler? You know, at the end of the day, man, all I'm trying to do is show people that the scriptures is more profound than you really know it to be or understand it to be. These other gods are there. They were there. Because even when Moses went with the snake, the Magi did the same exact thing. They did the same exact stuff on a smaller scale now, but they did the same exact stuff. Why did Christ have to get keys from the devil? If he already rules everything, if he already controls everything, if this is what I'm saying. Like, the stories that we subscribe to don't make sense if you look at it in the totality of it. But it makes sense when you start to realize, oh, the devil and Christ, they flip-flop them because this is a story about good and evil. I'm Furious Black, yo. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll tell you where I got a lot of this thought process from. Definitely, man, like, pay attention to the small things. Everything is written telling you who these gods are, the Sumerian gods, the Greek gods. It's telling you that they're the same. So take the time and look for that. All right? I'm Furious Black. That's it, man.